Hi, and welcome to Turra Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turra Company experience and create herstory, aka history, together. Welcome to Turra Company.
Hey. Hello. Okay.
I've been really using the...
That was just very abrupt.
I've been really using the sounds lately because I'm like, I pay for these mugs. Let me use them.
Got it.
Just in case I wanted a little laugh. I wanted to feel like somebody I laugh so much on the show. But anyway, welcome. Hey, company.
Hello. Hi.
So I mentioned a little bit on the last episode. Remember that I had back surgery. Mm-hmm. And I want to talk about it a little bit because it's been a little bit of a roller coaster.
It's been traumatizing for me. Let me tell you.
Chelsi can't look at...
I can't. Yes, I'm an esthetician, and yes, I deal with skin, but there's a reason why I didn't take my esthetician one more step further and possibly become a nurse or / dermatologist, because I cannot.
She can't look at blood. She can't look at scars. She can't look at
open incisions and stuff like that. Not. No, that's not my thing.
And honestly, neither can I.
I need all your wounds.
They fake nurses. I can rely on them to bring me stuff while I'm laid up, but I can't rely on them to stitch me up.
And that is because at the altar, you looked a man in the eye and said, in sickness and in health.
And he been coming through.
I am not that person, so I'm glad you know that.
Shout out to Neil, because he been coming through. Neil has been the Florence Nightingale up in here.
You don't want to say Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale was the one. No, she wasn't the one that killed people.
No.
What? I'm like, what?
You need to watch that documentary, because obviously someone didn't watch that documentary.
No, I didn't.
Right. She was a known nurse, right?
There was one that
Nurse Jackie.
Shut up. Nurse Jackie is my nurse, my home nurse. I love Nurse Jackie.
There's one nurse that was going around that was like,
no, it's not.
Making people
Florence
sick.
Nightingale is from way, 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 way back.
Okay.
So anyway, I just wanted to let the company know I've really been, what have I been doing? Sacrificing for them?
Yes.
Coming in the studio, sitting on the chair, because my back has been a big roller coaster. But anyway.
Wait, let me just say my favorite thing about the back surgery, though.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Let's talk about, we have a recliner chair has been purchased.
Yes. And it is the best recliner ever. Where did you get it? On Amazon or something?
Yeah, I got it on.
Let me tell you.
So when I was in the hospital, I just was like, because I'm a shopaholic. So I was in the hospital, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to lay in the bed. I just knew. And so I ordered real quick. I ordered a recliner. I think I got out of the hospital on Friday, and it was delivered on Saturday. I was trying to get it delivered the day I was getting out the hospital, but I couldn't get one.
And it still took Dad a couple of days to put together, but
yeah.
Once he did, we ain't looked back since.
My goodness. I've already taken a nap in it.
Yeah, I'll come in here and just to sit in my recliner, and yes, it is.
It is not. Okay.
Sure is.
Let's move on, because you're doing blasphemous stuff right now. So anyway, what's today's show about, Ariel?
Oh, because it was my topic that I wanted to pick out. We're talking about attachment styles today. Woo! Yay!
Right, give it to her.
Thank you.
You wanted
Thank
some
you
claps?
so much. I sure did.
I'm clapping for you, because y'all usually don't come with the topics and stuff and the recording. And lately, I've been because of my back, I just been like, I don't feel like it. But you guys, because I was about to take a season break. I was about to say, we need to do a season break, but y'all been coming
for the summer so we can go out and do hood rat things.
No, literally, I'm trying to live my hot girl summer, so I think that is when our season break will be happening.
So anyway, since it's your topic, what is attachment styles? What is this?
So basically, attachment styles come from the blanket topic, which is attachment theory. And attachment theory basically looks at a parent's relationship with their child. So it basically looks at what kind of emotional needs were met by your parents. So
I didn't know that. Is this a trick? I didn't know y'all was about me.
No. Yeah, what are you talking about? Where did we come from? And it's funny because me and Ariel both got the same one.
The same attachment style.
And when we said that, she said, ooh, I don't know where y'all came from.
Yeah, because I'm totally different. So let's tell the people what the 4 different types of attachment styles are.
So the 4 different attachment styles are anxious, which is also considered preoccupied, avoidant or dismissive, disorganized or fearful avoidant, and secure.
Okay. So what we did is we found an article. It's, I'll cite my source. It's the Attachment Project, and we'll cite that article that we got this stuff from. We also took a quiz. I'll put a link to the quiz. Excuse me. I'll put a link to the quiz. So if you guys are interested in taking the quiz, you can do that too. But it was interesting. So we took the quiz today. And what did you guys what was your attachment style, Ariel?
Fearful and disorganized.
And what is that like?
So basically, from what I understand of that, from that you can say that Chelsi and I focus more on the things that we can do for ourselves compared to what other people can do for us, because we don't want to be let down by the other people in our lives.
It's weird because this one says, all you need to know about disorganized attachment is the most difficult type of insecure attachment is the disorganized attachment style. It's often seen in people who have been physically, verbally, or sexually abused in their childhood.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Did I verbally abuse you?
A little bit.
Here's
and maybe, listen, we've discussed, me and Ariel have very different childhoods, so I don't know about Ariel. But you know me,
But as we just said in the last week's episode, you tried it.
Yeah.
So what was I supposed to do?
You were supposed to gentle parent me and talk me off the ledge.
But it didn't work.
You never. How would you know?
Who are you? Who are you this week? Because last week you were saying whatever, it didn't matter.
Right.
I'm just saying
it did not matter.
I'm just saying.
You said it did not matter. Whatever happened to you was going to happen. So anyway.
So I don't know about I understand that that's probably true. And I don't think that correlation equals causation in that case, because I think that I have a fearful attachment style because I've been let down by people.
Right. It don't have nothing to do with me.
Well,
look at her trying to.
I don't know about that. I wouldn't say that it has nothing to do with you.
Oh, okay.
But I think
you played a very important role in our lives.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Every decision
only
you
the
made
good stuff though
led us here.
Stuff. Anyways,
y'all not gonna come on this show and rat me out like I ain't.
Mom, what was your attachment style?
I'm secure, baby.
Oh, I love that.
Mine's is secure, and what secure is secure.
Secure is what you're supposed to be.
Right. So the secure attachment style is the most common type of attachment in Western society, it says around 66% of the U.S. population is securely attached. People who have developed this type of attachment are self-contented, social, warm, and easy to connect to. They are aware of and able to express their feelings. They also tend to build deep, meaningful, and long-lasting relationships. So this is the question I have. Can your style change? Can you work on it? And
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't feel like you're
stuck in that
once
one.
you take that quiz, that's
what you
your
are
style
forever.
and you're stuck with it forever.
Yeah.
I definitely think because even though, yes, I got the fearful one, I feel like it's...
You lean more towards secure?
I feel... Because the questions that the quiz kind of asked you, I don't know. They were kind of...
They were like a weird, right?
Yeah. So for me, speaking past romantic relationships, thinking of back when I was now, I used to tell people I have attachment issues, once I'm on you.
But I thought you were so attached, super attached,
yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Now, I feel like I'm not so attached. now I make the joke, as quick as it takes me to like you, I can unlike you that fast, you know? Like, it doesn't take me a long time to get unattached.
So it sounds like, go ahead.
Which is funny because that is the anxious attachment style.
Oh, I thought that was the avoidant.
Or avoidant, anxious. The reason I say anxious is because anxious attachment style also has low self-esteem, strong fear of rejection or abandonment, and clinginess in relationships.
Right, but no, I think she's leaning more towards avoidant. I'm going to tell you why, because that's my secondary one. So go back to me. I'm secure. That's my first one. That was the highest percentage. It was a high, it was like 68%. It was very high. And then my next one was like 30-some%, and it was avoidant, dismissive avoidant. And I think what Chelsi is explaining is dismissive avoidant. She's saying either you come into the party or you're not. And that's dismissive avoidant. Like, you're basically saying I can cut you off at any time.
Right. I can have you or not have you. It really don't matter.
Yeah. And that's my secondary one. So I think she's leaning more towards that, not that other one that you said. The anxious one, I don't think so.
Okay.
Are you leaning more towards anxious, the second one?
I don't know. When I did the test, for some reason, it only showed me one.
But when you read about it, let's see. Let's tell the people what anxious is. So anxious, also referred to as preoccupied. Anxious attachment is one of the 3 insecure attachment styles. So fun fact, I read this earlier too. The first 3, the anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, all three of those are insecure attachment styles.
Yeah.
Secure out of these 4 is the only secure attachment style. So that was interesting to me. So anxious attachment is one of the 3 insecure attachment styles. It's referred to as anxious.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to cut you up, but I also just want to put that disclaimer out there because, we've done the Are You Insecure show. Don't let that word like insecure, secure, like scare you. Just because you have an insecure one doesn't,
I mean, I don't think you got to take it like that, but you're just, that's what they're calling it out.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to clarify to our listeners.
So anxious attachment is one of the 3 insecure attachments. It's referred to as anxious, ambivalent attachment in children. Anxious attachment develops in early childhood. Most often, anxious attachment is due to misattuned and inconsistent parenting. It is so crazy.
It's just coming for you.
It ain't coming for me. We don't have this one. Nobody has this one.
No one has that one.
This is I'm just reading them all because we've covered dismissive avoidant. We covered securely attached. And now we were just covering, just so everybody could see the different ones. So once again, just to recap, there's anxious, there's avoidant, there's disorganized, and there's secure. Anxious, avoidant, disorganized, those 3 are in the insecure bucket. Doesn't mean you're insecure. It means if you have this attachment style, you probably have some type of insecure. And you kind of can see it when you're answering the questions. The questions, if you're answering true to a lot of the ones that are saying you fear being alone or you fear this or you fear that, then you're going to come out with one of them insecure ones. It kind of was a skew test. I mean, it's a good beginning, but I wouldn't say that this is an end-all, do-all. It was kind of cute. I thought it was cute to learn something new about yourself. So I liked it. Ariel, like Ariel said, it was her idea.
It was. And the thing that brought it to my attention is we all spend our time on the Clock app. If you don't, do you know what I'm?
Tickety-tock.
Tickety-tock.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Tickety.
I haven't been on
Because
there
what does
in
a
a
clock
minute.
do? TikTok.
No, I haven't been on that in a minute, but
Love that for you. So I've been getting like a lot of, I feel like my phone has been listening to me say the words paid professional a lot because I've been getting a lot of like, not necessarily self-help TikToks, but a lot of like self-introspection.
like therapy.
Kind of, yeah. More like just, self-reflecting TikToks. And one of the ones that struck out to me that I kept getting is talking about attachment styles.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that feels like a good topic to talk about. And then I read it a little bit more and I found the part about it developing in your childhood very interesting. And to be honest with you, I based off of reading the descriptions, I thought I had the anxious.
Why you look at me like that?
Because I just
Ariel brought up the parenting issues.
keep on talking about the
listening.
childhood.
Give me
I'm
a little
like,
side eye.
what is happening right now?
Well, I'm kind of going somewhere with this. I promise.
Oh, okay.
I promise. So I thought I was in an anxious attachment style, but after doing the quiz, I see that I'm fearful, and which is, the more I read about it, the more not surprising it is. From what I understand of it, and from the part that I gathered, is you basically don't want to have to rely on other people for things because
people let you down.
Because people have let you down.
Who let you down though?
So that's the thing though. Thinking back to my childhood, I don't think that your dad let me down, but I do think a lot of like my friendships that I developed.
You know what?
Wait, hold on. I had to put the claps on that.
Because that's what it is. I always like to say that I don't have childhood trauma. I have adulthood trauma.
Right. Or friendship trauma.
That's the one. That's it.
And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, because a lot of, it's funny to me that they keep on blaming the parent. And I ain't tripping.
Mm-hmm.
I am, but I ain't.
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny how when we're reading the definitions, it keeps saying your childhood, the parent. But when you're answering the quiz, it's saying
it doesn't ask you a single question about your childhood.
Well, no, it doesn't. But it even says your relationships in your dating relationship or personal relationships.
I do. Yeah. What you were saying about talking about your romantic relationships, because the only
personal, because it was asking you for both. It was like in your dating or personal relationships. So you bring up a good point that this is not only about childhood, because you could have a pretty good childhood that develops you, that gives you courage. I think I gave you guys a good, healthy esteem. But then you go out into the world and people beat you down.
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. Is that this isn't any like fault to you or anything like that, is like the one thing that like nothing could have prepared me for before I went to college was trying to talk to other people and trying to understand other people's emotions. Because when I was in school, I had my friends that we would talk, we would hang out. We didn't really have any issues because I was surrounded by people who had common interests as me, who had common goals as me, all of those kinds of things, right? And then when I got out into the real world, you are interacting with everybody. Yeah. And that is the one thing that even in my big old age, I struggle with, because my brain cannot wrap around like other people, not necessarily not thinking like me, but them not being able to, I feel like, almost like logic the same way as me. Because a lot of things that I come in contact with that people do, it just doesn't compute to me.
Right. I was just talking to a friend earlier today, and we were talking about sometimes, because that rings true in my life too, because I'm meeting a lot of new people. I'm out there doing different things, and I just noticed that sometimes you meet people and you want them to be like this, but then something flips,
right? And
then you're like, whoa, well, what happened? What just happened? And then, because I don't flip like that, because I am who I say I am, the only thing that'll make me flip is if you flip, and I'll have a reaction to that, right? Because I'm not a people pleaser. We've talked about it before. So if you come at me with some craziness, I'm going to react. I give it the same energy that I receive. If I receive good energy, I give good energy. But when you start giving me crazy energy, I can get crazy too. So I was telling a friend of mine today, I was like, sometimes though, when you meet new people and around new people, you have to give them time to catch up. You have to give them time and grace to catch up to you and to get to know you, because they've been hurt. They're so used to dealing with people who have hurt them that they bring that hurt to you. And even though you have a totally different face, it's almost like they take and put that poster of the person who hurt them on your face. And then they're trying to treat you like the person that hurt them before. And that's probably what you encountered in college, is people were just coming at you like, whoa, wait a minute. Would you say that was one of the things you think?
Something like that. To bring it back to a little bit like that, but to bring it back to the attachment styles is, I really want to point, because you're secure. Your attachment style is good. But one thing that I
had to work on it.
Right, but you had to work on it.
Yeah, I need people to know that. Probably if I would, I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you up, but if I would have took this test, how old am I, 50?
51.
If I would have took it 30 years ago, I would have been something different. So that's why I wanted to really point out that what you are today does not mean that that's what you're going to be tomorrow. Because I probably was one of those ones that was fearful, had attachment issues, and just other things going on just because of my past. So now, because I've been, I met Neo and he restored a lot of things within my life for relationships. Now I can answer those questions totally different.
Right.
So know this, that even if you get one of those insecure ratings or results today, that doesn't mean you're going to stay in that zone. Work on it.
But yeah, I say all of that to say, one of the things that sticks out to me about the fearful attachment is, Chelsi, do you feel like you've been let down by people you've known in your past, whether they be your friendships or romantic partners potentially?
I guess, but like not in like the let down of just like, oh, like I asked them to do something and they didn't do it, but more of like that. Well, one thing that I've just started to learn over the years is whether it's a platonic friendship or like an actual relationship, I go all in,
Right.
And
you're loyal.
I'm so loyal to the
10
point,
toes down.
like we locked in for life, for lifers. But what I'm starting to notice is that if I'm around I don't mesh with other people who are not locked in and loyal.
Yeah. That's usually how it is, though. Because why would you want to be loyal to something that ain't loyal to you?
Exactly.
But you probably are running, because I run into this too. Nobody's loyal.
Right.
I hate to say nobody, but there's not a lot of loyal people out there.
It's hard to find people that are on the same level.
Because everybody's so
loyal to you.
Because everybody's so, Ariel's favorite, entitled. They think you owe them friendship.
Right.
They think you owe them loyalty.
Right.
So they don't owe you anything, but you owe, what you talking about? So what, you loyal? You're supposed to be. But they not supposed to be to you, and that's
like
what I'm
finding. They
finding.
want to gain your loyalty, or earn it.
You mean they want you to earn it?
Yes.
They want you to earn it. Where you coming out the back,
Out the gate,
I call you friend. I'm loyal.
Yeah, like you, like I said, we locked in.
Right. But then they want to, you got to prove yourself, and then they got to build the trust. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Right.
I mean, if that's how they want to do it, let them do it that way. But that makes you have to change your moves a little bit, because you can't be loyal to everybody, because everybody don't deserve your loyalty.
Exactly.
You answer her question?
Yeah, she did.
I think I did, yeah.
To answer my own question, I don't feel like, I think the fearful attachment style was learned from me, because I used to be very trusting. I used to be very like, oh, this person's going to reciprocate my feelings, or, oh, this person has earned my trust.
Or be loyal to you.
Yeah, or be loyal to me. But now, just over being, not necessarily like burned, but like basically learning my lesson the hard way, that not everyone should get your trust immediately.
Yes.
I've realized I'm a little bit more hesitant to like give people my trust. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out is, for our early listeners, if they know, Chelsi made a mention that when it comes to relationships, I'm kind of like the dude in my relationships. So I'm like usually.
But I think you're the dude. I'm going to cut you up and say that you're the dude, but I think you just take a while to come on, and by the time that the dude is like not feeling your dude no more, then that's when you start to get, that's when you start to pursue, and it's like you a late pursuer. Like when they're pursuing you, you like
not that.
But then once they be like, I'm done. This is over. Then you'd be like, whoa, what happened? Oh my God.
Wait a second. Wait a moment. That's kind of what
You need to work on that though.
I mean, I'm not like that anymore.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm dating somebody who was able to stick around long enough to get past the me being, what's the word?
But you're still not like all in. You still be like, whatever.
Yeah, you're. I don't know. You
be blasé about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You be like, oh yeah, okay.
Like when I was in your stage of dating, I was like, Neil, what you doing? Like Neil knew that he was numero uno. Like I always made him, and he didn't always do what he was supposed to do with that. Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, because sometimes he used that to his advantage, not mine. Mm-hmm. So but I always made him know, dude, I'm rocking with you. I'm rolling with you. It's me and you. Once he asked me to go with him, once that thing happened, then we was together.
I was locked in.
We was like, I was locked in. Daddy is kind of like Ariel. Like when he was pursuing me, he was locked in. Then as soon as I was like, okay, and made him numero uno, then it flipped and he started doing different things. I would love to have him in here so he can say why. But I bet you funny. He can't articulate. He probably doesn't even know that that's my perspective.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He probably thinks that but I remember him, like I said, in the Love and Marriage series, we were dating other people, but we were going out, having fun, just kicking it, no attachment. I don't even think we was thinking romantically. Like, I know I wasn't, he might've been, but me, I just was like, this dude is so cool. Like I was just thinking of him as a cool dude friend. But he was like starting to get serious and serious and serious. And I'm like, whoa, like a horse. Whoa, Daddy. When I say whoa, I mean whoa. Oh, that's my favorite. Yosemite Sam with the camel. Mm-hmm. I'm about to go find that one. I'm about to watch that tonight. I need that giggle because that is a giggle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That Looney Tunes is a giggle. So anyway, but yeah, and you brought up a good point, Ariel, because you're saying that you learned it over time, or I think you built that wall over time. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So like me, I built my wall from my childhood. So I can see where stuff comes. I built the wall from my childhood, but I worked on the wall. Mm-hmm. And so now I went from, probably would have been the same as you guys. Like I don't like rejection. I can't stand it. So I probably would have been in one of those rejection ones, right? Mm-hmm. But now, like I said,
that's why people can't tell you no.
Yeah, I can't. And don't tell me you're going to do something and don't do it. That grinds my gears so hard. Like that will make me, you'll be done. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that's trauma from my past. But like I said, because I was able to find somebody that was patient enough to work through those things with me and hang on, even when I was spinning out like a Tasmania, now I trust more. It's just a totally different story. Mm-hmm. So even though y'all are blaming me,
okay,
I know it's all about me. Even though you guys are blaming me for having this insecure attachment, I am okay to take that. I'll take the hit, but what I'm going to charge you guys with, because you're grown and you can only carry, listen, I can only carry y'all for so long. I did what I did. I did the best that I could, and I did good. I know y'all know that. I know y'all think that. Because it's some parents out there. I just told Chelsi the other day, I said, girl, you better appreciate me, because there's some parents out there that ain't rocking like me. Right? Didn't I tell you that the other day?
You sure did.
And what did you say? You was like, yeah, because I see
absolutely.
Yeah, because you see people that have parents that don't give a jack about them. And I did the best I could. I taught you guys lessons, though. I didn't give you everything that you wanted. Like, you guys always come to me and be like, I wanted to do this and you ain't do it. I wanted to be in this and you didn't put me in it. And y'all always say stuff like that.
I get bullied for having good parents all the time at work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know me and Daddy did a very good job, but always remember this, because I do see grown people in their 50s and 60s still talking about what their parents did. Mm-hmm. It comes a point where it's not on us anymore. Mm-hmm. It's on you. because you creating your own experiences.
I mean, if you 51-year-old and your mom's still talking down to you, that's like a whole other story.
It ain't even that though, but I'm saying there's people that are stuck where they're like, the reason I'm like this is because my mom did that. And that's okay when you in your 20s to say that because you're still there. But when you 30, 40, you've been out of your mama house 20, 30 years, you ain't even really rocking with your mama as far as in her house. You on your own. That's your stuff that you need to fix. Yes, she probably laid the foundation of the messed up for whatever reason. Because as parents, you do the best that you can. You do the best that you know how. So, because it's a book about being a parent, but it's not one size fits all. You got a kid like Chelsi. You got a kid like Ariel. You got to learn how to flex up. So anyway, there comes a point in time where you have to say, you know what, my father did this, but you know what, I'm more than that. Let me work on that. You seeing how it's impacting your daily life. You're seeing how it's impacting your relationships. So you need to work on it and fix it. But some people don't fix it. They just want to say, well, my mama never did this. My mama never was there. My mama didn't raise me. My father didn't do this. Listen, at some point you just got to say that didn't happen, but this is what I'm going to do to fix it. And so I just want our listeners, the company, to know when they're reading this and when they're going through this, don't think it's all about parenting. Don't think it's all about your childhood. Know that it's remnants of it and fix it. Work on it. Sit down and have that reflective moment and say, okay, this happened to me. It probably shouldn't have happened, but how am I going to fix it so I can go and be a better person? Because that's what it's all about, right? I raised you guys the best I know how. So now you are going to learn from my mistakes and do your kids better, like I did. Like, my mother wasn't bad, though. She did. Yeah, she did. Wait a minute. She did threaten to burn my coat.
Yeah. I was going to say, we literally had that conversation.
But the thing that's so funny, though, is like, so you remember, Chelsi, you remember one year you were struggling, because everybody know Chelsi.
Oh, my God, yes.
Chelsi was struggling one year. She had a moment where she was struggling with her parents.
Yeah.
In this house. She didn't want to do what we said.
Yeah. That was my biggest rebellion year I think I never had.
Yeah, and so my mother was like, well, just bring her over here. And you stayed over there for how long? The whole summer or something?
It started as like, I think it was only going to be for like a weekend. But then I was like, nah, you know what? Because I was so angry of the punishment that I got that I was like, I don't even want to be over. I don't even want to be home. So I said, you know what? I said, Grandma, I'm living with you this summer.
Yeah. So I think you stayed like months.
Months.
Like she had set you up.
Like,
because my mama gonna set you up though.
Like, to the point like she didn't really have like rooms like that, but she had me in like the night, because you know I'm grandma's baby, so she had me in like the nice.
Well, Ariel, you don't need to be grandma's baby. You don't. That's the thing. Like, your attachments are so weird because you be on your own. Right. You don't want nobody clinging to you like that.
I really don't.
So it shouldn't bother you that she's saying she grandma baby. She is very attached
I needed it. But she had me in the room with the white furniture that no one was even allowed to sit on.
Right.
With the TV, gave me a real nice air mattress.
I mean, she made a room for you.
To the point where like I wasn't even like going home to get new clothes. I would call Mom and be like, hey, I'm out of this. Can you bring me this, this, and this? Right.
You didn't come home. You just was over there.
I was just over there until the incident happened.
But I'm going to remind you, I think that this was so funny that when you did come home, you were like, how did you live with that lady for all those years? Like, that was the first question. You was like, Grandma is such a trip. How did you live with her? And that wasn't my experience. Mm-hmm. So when I lived with my mother, I'm not going to say I was always happy with her, like, la da 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 da, but it wasn't bad to me.
Right.
It was regular stuff. Like, my mother would she just has this weird way of doing stuff. It's not like anybody else. And that's why you shouldn't compare.
Right.
I think that's where people get mixed up. They have friends and they see their friends' parents doing this, that, or the other thing. And they think, oh, I wish my parent was like that. Mm-hmm. No, that's not what your parent was designed to do. But what my mother would do is she would do these really unique things. So she wasn't the kind where you was going to get a hug every day or you was going to get, come here, baby. Like, she didn't baby you. But what she would do is, I remember because, I don't know why, but when I was a kid, I just didn't keep my room clean. It used to just be crazy.
Like mother, like daughter.
Yeah, my room used to just be crazy. And I used to always say, Mom. I think my mother used to get nervous because I get nervous for you guys because you guys don't really always keep your rooms clean like I like them. And I always get you. The reason why I nut up so much is because I think you're going to be grown. You need to know how to clean. You got to keep your house clean. That's where that anger or anguish comes from. And my mother had that same anger and anguish with me because I think she was thinking, I'm not raising you to be nasty, right? So on her vacations, because my mother, would have vacation, I would be in school or whatever for the day. And this was probably because I lived with my mom until I was 23. I used to always tell her I'm not leaving. I used to be like, it's me and you. Me and you will never part. I used to really think I was going to live at home because my mother, she creates a nice little surroundings for you. Mm-hmm. She's very organized. She's very neat. She likes her stuff the way she like it. Yeah. And so, and she does neat things. Like, you're going to have Sunday night, like ice cream Sundays.
Right. Like that whole summer like that I was there, it was like every night. It's probably the nicest I'd never seen her because I call her Medea sometimes because that's just how
but that's how she is though.
We had like burrito nights. Then she was always in this kick that like she wanted to make Rice Krispie treats, so like that, and like cookies.
She used to love to bake with me
that's what I'm saying. Younger. She does. And when I was a kid, she used to love going to the movies and she loved cartoons. So it would be nothing. We always were doing something. So like I was saying, my mother wasn't the type that was like babying you, but I would go to school, room would just be looking like I turned it upside down, and I would come home and she will have cleaned my whole room, rearranged, and I'd be like, what? And I used to be like, dang, that's crazy. And then sometimes like I remember one time I was going to a skating party and I was like, dang, I really would like to have a new outfit for the party. I don't know if I asked her to do it or whatever, but I remember that day I came home and she had a whole new outfit laid out on the bed for me. Like, she just used to do, like, she surprises you. She does things that you wouldn't think she'd do because she be nutting up so much.
Right.
Because she can spin out, but she does know how to show her love, but she shows it in a different way. And that's probably why gifts is my love language, because that's what my mother used to do. That's how she used to show me her love. She would buy me things. Not saying, because, somebody listening to this would be like, dang, she was going off on you and then she would try to buy you. It wasn't even like that. It just, that's how she showed it, right? Mm-hmm. You just knew that. And she just knew how to have fun. She loves the kids.
Loves the kids. I remember one time she came over, it was because she worked in the school district for a while, so she had to say, like, if I was off for school, she was off too. And I remember one time, because remember, like I said, I didn't really keep my room clean like that. So right. She came over to the house one time just to help me clean my room.
Yeah, because she wanted to organize. Because she is such an organizer.
She reorganized my entire closet and was like, no, you're going to have this right here, like, reorganize the entire thing.
She used to traumatize me all the time. I used to be like, oh, I don't like her being in here. Like you say I do with you. Because that's the same thing that happened to me. My mother used to come in there and be like, get this up, get that up, da, da, da. And you be crying by the end of it because you like,
that just unlocked a memory for me.
Well, I just don't understand, though. If you keep it clean, then you won't have to go through that. So that's what I learned. I was like, let me just get this together. So she won't have to be fussing at me. But anyway, I say all of that to say I could easily be like, oh my God, my mother traumatized me because she didn't give me hugs or she didn't do this or she didn't do that. But at some point, you just got to get over that and stop thinking that you missed out. And if you really, really think and ponder on it, you really didn't miss out, because it's probably something they did. You probably was comparing it to somebody that you saw on TV. TV messes people up. Stop watching sitcoms thinking that the mother should be like the one on the sitcom, because that's
what we're drunk anyway. So.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what gets you messed up, because I used to look at Brady Bunch and be like, oh, look at them. But that ain't.
They got too many kids in that house.
That ain't real though. Like, parents are people, and they have good days and they have bad days, and they're trying to manage their days, trying to keep a roof over your head, food on the table. It's a lot of work, as Chelsi saw a couple of weeks ago when she volunteered to babysit for one of her friends, and she was like, okay, this is birth control.
No, literally. Well, first of all, let's just talk about it. I agreed to babysit a 14-month-old human, and I don't even know how to change a diaper. So,
why would you do that?
Were we going in with the right intentions? Yes. Was I prepared? No.
Not at all. So I'm so glad you babysat her over here. Because, then I could oversee it. And she was a good little girl. She loved Neil.
Oh, my God.
She was fighting for...
love Dad.
This was weird, though. Because she would not let him go.
Wouldn't let him go. Like, every time I tried to reach for her, she would grab him tighter because she didn't want me to take.
It was crazy.
And my friend says, because my father is of the bald man community, and she said both of her daughter's grandfathers are of the bald man community.
But it just is weird that she had to know that wasn't her grandfather.
Yeah, I don't know. It was crazy.
I never seen a kid get that attached to
someone they had just met.
That they just met. Like
that little, like that.
Literally, we could not take her away from Neil.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
To the point, like, I took her into my room, and then I had the door closed because I was like, I can't deal with this. And she kept going to the door because she knew. She was like, the man I need is not in here. Like, you can't do anything for me. I need to get to the man downstairs.
Yeah, that was so interesting. I never, in all my years, I never seen.
And guess what? He loved it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because Neil loves the kids. And he's always been like that. Like, we always were the type, especially, when you were little. My brothers are 13 years younger than me, so the nieces and nephews that they had didn't come till later. So when you guys were little, all my friends' kids were y'all cousins. You grew up as cousins. Mm-hmm. So we would always have, other people's kids. And Neil was just that cool uncle, He played video games. So if we went and got my godson, me and Uncle Neil about to play video games, and we about to do whatever we do.
He said that next week, I was telling him something. He was like, you can't believe how many people I told that story to.
About the little girl? About Violet?
Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, okay, did you? I'm glad.
About her being clingy to him?
Yes, to the point where, like, I was talking about something else. He goes, Chelsi, he was like, I'm sorry, so sorry. He was like, is she coming? You going to babysit her anytime soon? I said, no.
Right, because he was the only one. It's a lot. And I just was telling somebody this. I just recently was, we went into the office in San Diego, and I was just telling one of my coworkers, I was like, this is not popular opinion, and people like to throw tomato when I say this. I don't like babies. I loved being pregnant.
But you're more a toddler. You need them walking and talking.
I need you walking and talking. And even when you walking and talking, you have to have, it's a certain personality that I like.
Yeah.
I don't just like any personality. Like, I need you to be a little sassy, a little grown for your age. I don't like them babies, you crying for everything. I can't take the crying. Get out of here. What do you want? Tell me what you want. I need you to come on. Get your purse. Get your purse. Let's go. You want to go to Target? Let's go, because I can take you. So yeah. So those are the things. I think this was a good dialogue to have, because I had when you sent it to me, I had never heard of this. So this was interesting, and I'm gonna do a little bit of a deeper dive into it. We might have a part 2 of this show, because sometimes, we give you a little taste and then we revisit, especially when they're these heavy topics. And we're teaching and we're learning ourselves. So we encourage you guys to take the assessment. Like I said, I'm going to put the links in the show notes. Again, in case you don't know the show notes, because, sometimes people take stuff for granted. Like you're saying things and you think, oh, they know what that is. Mm-hmm. So the show notes if you're listening, if you go on any of the podcast platforms, when you click to listen, there's always a little summary of what the episode is about. So if you click into that, if there are any links, they'll be there in the show notes. So whether you listen on any, podcast platforms. Now, when you use the links, let me see, if they go on our link tree, it still takes them there, right? They still go to wherever they listen, Apple Podcasts. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So just look it up. What is it? Attachment theory?
Attachment theory and attachment styles.
Yep. So that's Ariel's little show. She wanted us to discuss that. I felt a little way, but that's the thing. It's okay to feel a certain type of way. Cause I was reading it, I was like, dang, what's about to happen right here? But it's okay. It's all good. I'm confident. I stand on my parenting skills or lack of because guess what? Y'all grown. It's on y'all now. Now y'all get to do y'all stuff and make mistakes. And when y'all have y'all kids, you're going to be like, dang, how'd you do this? You're going to be like, how you do this?
So you're going to be lucky if you get grandkids out of me.
Why you say that?
Because
Ariel, you're not a kid person. You're not. You're not. I don't know what it is. You're just not, like when I see you with kids, you're not motherly.
Ooh.
Well, she not.
Because,
am I lying?
The reason why I said that is because I was going to say that, but I felt like, because, you say I've been coming for her. So I
mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, and you might not have had a lot of exposure to babies either. Because when I think about it, your friends don't have kids. So, you've been around your nieces and nephews. Your cousins. Sorry.
I'm like, you ain't got no nieces and nephews.
Right. Your cousins. But it's just, you be wanting the baby to not be a baby. You be like, why are they crying? Stop crying. Why are you doing that? Don't you? You just be wanting to control every bit. But I think once you meet the right guy, get married, that's the next step, is bringing something else into the world. But it's not for everybody. Just have a boy and bring the boy over here.
And just give him to dad.
Yeah, just give him to Neil. Because he already
That's what I tell him.
Just give it to dad. He'll retire early and be your nanny because he ready. He's so ready for a little baby. He loves little babies. So there you go. That's gonna change. You're probably gonna have 5 kids.
No.
She said, "Don't wish that on me."
Don't wish that on me.
So have you and your beau? Have y'all talked about kids?
Yes.
And how many does he want?
He wants 4.
That's a lot,
right?
And in 2020, whatever, whenever that would happen. Does he want to, does he talk about marriage? Like, is he like, when we get married, I would like to have, or when I get married, I would like to have, or is he like, he don't care if he married or not?
Yeah. I don't think we've never said it in those contexts. We have talked about marriage and we've talked briefly, vaguely about marriage, mostly in the sense that is far off for both of us.
But is he there? Like, he ain't like, I don't believe in marriage.
No,
right.
No, not at all. Yeah. But we talk about them separately. So like having kids is separate from getting married.
Right. So like, do you think if you were to get pregnant by him tomorrow, do you think that he would want to get married, or do you think he would want to be a baby daddy?
That's not where
that's not a topic that you've discussed.
No, my brain
Ask him that question. Next date y'all go on, just for S's and G's.
I'll text him and tell him you wanted me to ask. How about that?
Whatever. However you want to do it, but I really want to hear the answer to that question. If I was to get pregnant tomorrow, do you want to be a baby daddy or do you want to be a husband? I would be
There's
curious.
a third option.
What's the third option?
What's the third option?
What's the third option?
Planned Parenthood.
Dang. Girl, you too old for that. You ain't no kid. You better take them opportunities. There's people out there doing all kinds of things trying to have a baby. You better take that blessing as it comes. You're too old. You're too old for Planned Parenthood. You're too old. Planned Parenthood is for the youngins. To me. You 27-year-old working a good job, you can have the baby. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. Just have the baby and give it to us. We'll take care of it.
Just have the baby and give it to us.
We'll take care of it.
Noted.
I think John's family would take care of it. I don't, anyway, we're not even going to go down that route.
Yeah, let's not.
That's why everybody's trying to not let y'all have them, because y'all just look at you. There's a third option, throwing it all out there. That's why people trying to ban it.
I'm not ready for a kid. ready for it.
What, and that's fine. So
still
you're
a
taking the
child.
precautions
Yeah.
beforehand, so you don't have to worry about that. But I'm just saying, things happen. So know that you're supported. The Planned Parenthood is not a thing that you would have to do.
Mhm.
Like, so some people build that in their head, like, and they don't even discuss it. You know, they just be like, I'm about to go. You know,
Right.
handle it.
Right.
I'm about to go handle it. And you don't
This
even have
turned
the
into-
discussion.
We get
Well,
way
anyway,
off
we're
topic.
getting
Let's,
so
I'm,
far off
I'm
topic.
cutting the plug. I'm cutting the plug. Thank you guys.
No, you don't get to cut the plug.
No,
Because I'm about to wrap it
so
up.
I want to
much.
wrap it up. I'm
okay.
gonna switch it up a little bit.
Okay, Chelsea, are you going to Planned Parenthood?
No, I'm 100%. I'm
You
ready.
gonna learn how to.
Listen, we gonna make it work, baby.
You're gonna have a baby. You would have a baby daddy.
If I have to, yeah.
Damn.
Even though my friend says it would not ruin my life, it would ruin her life.
Right, because y'all ain't gonna be able to hang like that. You wouldn't be able to hang. I mean, you would hang. Listen, we support y'all. Me and Daddy would definitely support that. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, it would change your life dramatically. So take your time with it, but at the same time,
I said I want to
ain't
do
get no younger.
Listen, Dad's got good insurance. I'm about to lose Dad's good
Stop
insurance.
it. I'm done with you.
so she tried to do it before 26. So she can. You are.
Good insurance.
Wild.
Make sure it's covered.
Make sure it's covered.
You are.
Make sure that birth is covered.
All right. So now, on that note,
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much for listening to today's episode. We hope you really learned a lot more about yourself, or just, gave you a new thing to research, just because that is what we are here for. So follow us on all of our social medias. Follow us on YouTube, because I don't think... Subscribe to us on YouTube, because I don't think we have hit that goal that Mom said. What was it? 30 followers? Yes.
And we have 3.
And we have 3.
Last I looked.
So we need 27 more. So...
And we don't mind begging.
We don't. We are... What's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. But listen, we
Shameless?
are on... Yeah, we are not shameless.
We are shameless.
We are shameless.
We are
and
shameless.
we will beg.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
But we thank you guys so much for watching, and we hope you guys...
They're watching or listening.
They're watching us?
They're
I didn't
listening.
know there was a camera in
Well, if
there.
they're watching, if they're on YouTube, it's a video. I mean, it's not.
But they're still listening, though.
Yeah.
I'm never doing the outro ever again.
Anyways, thank you so much for listening.
By the
guys.
time it gets to by the time it launches, it'll be clean.
Right.
Because I'm
So,
the best editor.
You sure
I should
are.
win best editor
Podcast
podcaster.
editor.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope you guys have a fantastic week, and we will catch you guys on the next episode.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.